supporting Baddcheeta. How you doing today?
I'm doing well, Nathan. How are you doing?
Pretty good, thank you. Doing better that you've agreed to come on and talk about your come up because the bros, the dudes, the guys are like, yes, we'll talk about it, have no problem. But when I'm asking some of the women from different fields, some of them are like, oh no, I'm a camera shy. I'm like, really? You're that same girl that catches the bouquet at the wedding, bouncing that thing up and down, and now you camera shy when all the cell phones come out. Do it for the gram, girl. So back to thanks for doing it. Definitely want to put a message out, ladies. We want to hear about your come up. Don't be shy.
For sure. Thank you so much for having me.
No problem. So tell us about yourself.
Well, I am a musician. I am a songwriter. I'm a singer. I DJ, and I also produce music.
Man, do you ever get time for sleep or anything like that?
Sometimes it's hard. You just have a lot of energy and a lot of inspiration. You have to let it out somehow, but you do need sleep, though.
Mm-hmm. There you go. How did you discover that music was, this is my life's call, and this is what I'm going to do, and this is my passion in life?
Mm-hmm. Well, music is definitely the one thing that excites me the most. Nothing else does the same thing as music. It brings people together, and I want to be part of that. And it's also a really big part of our culture, being Filipino. We have music playing no matter what, whether it's a funeral, a birthday party, graduation, what have you, anything. There's always music involved. So it was never like hard to, find that calling, because I've always kind of been doing it my whole life too, from the time I was really young until now, all throughout elementary, high school, college, church, you name it. Like, I'd always been involved in music, like no matter what.
I can speak on the Filipinos and music. Not the ambassador. My ex-wife was Filipino, so music was definitely part of their culture. Huge karaoke. And if you're not a music person, you're at a Filipino party, well, you better eat a ton of their food, and you better take a ton of their food home. Otherwise, they bring out the machetes.
Yeah, for sure. Filipinos are all about the food and the music. That's kind of like what we're, just grown up to do, I guess. We're really hospitable. So you're right about that food and the music, for sure.
Food is good. Food is salty. That's why you guys drink Coke with it, because it's that salty. But it's delicious though. So with the pandemic that came about earlier in the year, and you being a musician, you were performing in clubs and bars in LA, and then I recall you probably doing a couple shows for the casinos out here too. How have you had to adjust from not performing and promoting your music and getting your name out there?
In the beginning, it was really difficult because as a musician, of course, you really want to get out there and you want to share what, you've been practicing for. And, you kind of feel like, does anyone still care, with everything going on? You just kind of have to realize, well, first of all, you have to get in the digital space, because that's kind of like what we've all ended up doing, since we can't really meet in person. Right. We've all kind of just have to resort to digital media, social media. That's like the number one thing nowadays for musicians. Like, I've seen a lot of my friends go on Twitch. I always see them going on like IG Live or Twitter. For me, I've never stopped recording. I still communicate with my musician friends and we collaborate. I still get in the studio with them. We always kind of have to keep it in the back of our minds that this will all end. We're all gonna go back to normal sometime later. So, right. That's it. I mean, just never really kind of lose sight of those things, because what else are we gonna do? We can't just sit around and be depressed.
Oh no, this will all pass.
Right.
When? Who knows? I don't know, but hopefully soon enough. So you promote your music on Instagram. You have a pretty huge Instagram following. How else do you promote your music? Do you do YouTube? Do you do TikTok? That's been a huge platform that blew up with millennials after the first shutdown.
Yeah, for sure. Well, I go on SoundCloud. I go on Twitter. YouTube, not so much, but I think I need to get on that too. TikTok, I feel like I don't know. I feel like it's more of a dance platform, but I
Your
think
music is pool party Coachella vibe. That you could dance to that. I mean, some of them is like more mellow, but I'm sure you got some bass bumping in there somewhere.
yeah, I know. I need to get on that TikTok for sure. But I mostly use Instagram and SoundCloud for the most part. That's where I've kind of like found my community with music.
Hmm.
Like I listen to a lot of artists on there, and that's how I kind of get exposure too, just from people, listening to my music there and kind of just word of mouth. But I think Instagram for the most part, really, I've been networking there a lot.
Okay. I'll give you a quick TikTok tip. I don't know much about, actually, I don't know anything about the music industry. I don't know if you have TuneCore to upload a TikTok. Let's say you do that and you upload and you create a TikTok account. TikTok is kind of unique where the organic reach is insane and your first video always seems to just blow up. So the TikTok algorithm kind of gives you that fix, that addiction of, oh, okay. And I don't think you're camera shy at all. So, and can you dance or do you dance? I mean, if you're playing that kind of party music, I'm sure you got some vibe into it, you know?
I can dance, but I'm not one of those choreographed people that they have all these like steps.
Oh, you don't have to do all that. Just play your music while you're making a coffee and just, do your little Filipino thing. This is for all the Pinoys and Pinays out here, then boom, boom, boom with Baddcheeta going on. And I promise you that first video will get views. And then your sound, you never know who can take your sound and make a
That's
video on
true.
that. And then it just kind of, I don't know how it works revenue wise, but
Right.
sometimes exposure is the name of the game. I
For
don't know.
sure.
Just a little
I
tip.
need, I know, I really need to get on that because I know that video is like that's what everyone consumes nowadays.
It is.
I've just never been, I mean, I'm not Instagram shy, but I find myself TikTok shy for some reason. I feel like it's
You're
more,
like that girl at the bouquet at the wedding. I don't know, I'm camera shy, but throw a bouquet in the air. It's all bets are off.
yeah, I feel like it's more like what you're used to. I feel like TikTok just came out of nowhere and it's like, whoa, what do I do with this? But you're right. The reach is really like organic and it's so like widespread. Like all the kids are doing it.
Hmm.
I will get on that for sure. Yeah, I need to
Definitely
get
do
on
it. Definitely do it. The way the internet is now, you can post like a text or a picture, and it's meh. And obviously, the only pictures that get the most likes are the ones where the peach apple bottom booty is like showing out. So, but like the 15-second video or like 8 to 15-second videos or short, quick videos, people are consuming that because it's more engaging. And then if it's really good, whether it's a dance or a joke or something, then, hey, people rewatch it and then they spread it, and I don't know, it's a wildfire out there.
I totally agree. I think we're in that culture now where we want that instant gratification. So, when you have something that's video, it's like for your eyes, for your ears,
Mhm.
and it just stimulates all of those senses. So I think it's really like powerful.
Exactly.
But since I'm a musician, I'm more like of the audio kind of, like I focus more on that. But I'm like, okay, I need to definitely get on that video space, if I want to reach more people.
It's kind of just adding to you. Like for me, I'm more of a writer. That's my gift. I can put words and thoughts and put it on paper.
Hmm.
But now it's videos the way it is, and then also with audiobooks, people don't necessarily have the time to read a book, so now it's
Yeah.
invest in that because people want to listen to an audiobook, in your case where
Hmm.
they're stuck on the 405 freeway or
Yeah.
something like that. So it's just another way of consuming content, and then video and dancing, that gives it a whole another element where all your senses are engaged.
Hmm.
um, you just gave me another question. I don't know if there's anyone watching that wants to be in the music industry and not sure how to get in the music industry or break that mold.
Hmm.
Um, how did you start? Was it someone you rubbed elbows with? Was it from a childhood friend, or how was your beginning in,
Hmm.
in music?
Honestly, it was through a professor. When I went to Cal State San Bernardino to get my undergrad, I had a
Hmm.
professor who would always talk about his son, and he would always say, "Oh yeah, my son works in the music industry. You know, he's really laid back. You know, he gets to do what he wants." And I'm like, "Oh, that's kind of cool."
Yeah.
Yeah, and I said that's kind of like what I want to do, but at the same time, I couldn't just like come here to LA and just kind of with my fingers crossed and hope for the best. I knew that I had to get into a legit institution surrounded by people that can help me, you
Hmm.
know? And I knew that, I just always knew that education was kind of the key to a lot of things. So I just looked into programs that were offering like music industry education.
Hmm.
And so luckily I found one that Cal State Northridge actually offered.
Okay.
It was a music industry administration program. So it was like a 2-year program that kind of gave you an overview of the music industry. You know, we took like legal classes, accounting classes, we took
Hmm.
marketing classes, but it was all centered around the music industry. So it kind of kept my interest. So I knew that if I was going to further my education, it had to be something related to music. Otherwise, it wouldn't make sense to me. You
Well,
know, I felt like if it was music related, I'd be interested and I'd keep going to school and waking up for it. So that's how I got started. You know, we just met a lot of people from the music industry. Like they would have people that were managers, artist managers, like Sony heads. They would get people from Universal Music, Warner Music. They would all come talk to us in class, and they would all give us like resources. LinkedIn, you know, I took advantage of that
hmm.
platform,
Right.
and also just really kind of just putting yourself out there, going to events, you know, workshops, what have you.
Hmm.
There's so many, like, but definitely like getting into the institution and getting into the music program was what kind of like catapulted to, you know, where I am now, because without that I wouldn't know all these people that I know now.
Just for the people watching, all the music you hear in the background today in this video, it's all you. So, is there any future projects you're working on, like new tracks, or is there performances you got scheduled in the next coming months or next year?
As for now, we have a few videos that we've been shooting, we've been working on. When we
Mhm.
drop these tracks, we're gonna have some videos with it. But definitely this Halloween, we're dropping a video and also a track. I think you will hear a snippet of it now. I think I sent you the track. So
Mhm.
we're gonna be dropping that. Performance wise, I don't have anything planned yet. I have a few tracks that I'm also collaborating with
Awesome.
locally, and also someone from Florida, I think. So
Hmm.
I'm working on that right now. But yeah, just some videos right now and some tracks, but no performances yet. I haven't really booked any because I'm not sure when we're going to really be able to. So
No one knows. It
hopefully
seems like,
soon.
yeah, it
Yeah.
seems like the casino down the street, Agua, they had someone performing in October, and then it's like, February. And
Yeah.
then, so I don't think anyone knows, but at least it's still amazing. You're continuing, you're adapting.
Mm-hmm.
Pretty soon you'll be TikToking. I mean, you're going to join the TikTok. And 6 months from now, it may not even be about TikTok. It may be about Instagram Reels, or because
True.
even though when Reels came out, it was clunky and it was just
Mm-hmm.
horrible, but they've got the money to compete and give TikTok a real run for it. Um, is there any message that you want to relay to anyone that wants to become a musician, or any final words that you like to relay?
Definitely believe in yourself. You
Hmm.
know, there will always be tough times, but you have to do what excites you. If you're an artist, you have to do your art.
Hmm.
And, you know, I believe that art is what reminds people of the beauty of life. And as an artist, you have the responsibility to do that, you know, because life is already hard as it is. So people need inspiration, they need content from people that are able to do it. So
Hmm.
if you have a talent for it, if you have a natural knack for doing it, you have to do it. Otherwise, you're what are you going to do with it? I believe if you have a gift, you have to share it.
Mhm.
I think that's the whole purpose of life. You have to do what your purpose is,
Yep.
because I feel like that would we're ultimately here to kind of help each other out. And if you're given that, then I feel like you have to do that. It's kind of your responsibility to do that. But surround yourself with supportive people, and also keep feeding your mind with positive things, and stay inspired by listening to your favorite things, whatever they are. Like, don't be afraid. There's always days that you'll doubt yourself for sure, but
Oh, definitely. Yeah.
yeah, but that's normal,
Mhm.
but I feel like you should be doing what makes you happy and what brings other happiness, because I feel like whatever you're doing that you're happy doing, that kind of like shows in your work. That's all I can say to people. If you're not happy doing something, then do something that does make you happy, and that way you can keep doing it no matter what.
You just shed something on me. Now that I do got one more question for you, and
Mhm.
it is true. Do what makes you happy, because when you're for people that don't know what they're meant to do in life, because I believe we're all born on purpose, with purpose, for purpose. And if you're not sure what that purpose is, we'll start with what you love to do. Do your
Mhm.
passion, because your passion will lead you into your purpose.
Totally.
And when you said life is hard, and life is hard, it can be simple, but it's not easy.
Right.
What was the toughest part of your life that you dealt with, and how did you come up from that?
mm. Well, definitely, I think it was, when my dad got sick. He unfortunately had, cancer. It
Hmm.
was really tough on the family. It was really unexpected, and it kind of caught everyone off guard. We were like, oh, what do we do? But you just kind of have to believe it will all work out for the best, and
Hmm.
just stay focused, and just stay in contact with family, and kind of like go through it together.
Right.
Always kind of believe that as a family you're stronger than by yourself. It's important to have That's why it's important to have good people around you that are strong in their minds also, and that are
Hmm.
also have a lot of love for you. At the end of the day, that's what's gonna help you, I think. So yeah, definitely my family and friends have been, the reason why for my success too, because they've always
Hmm.
been supportive. Like, no matter what happens, they've always, shown their support however they could. So I just feel really blessed that way.
Awesome. No, definitely. You got to have a little faith. A little faith.
Yeah,
A little faith moves mountains,
true.
and a little bit of doubt can create them. So
Yeah, yeah, for
that's
sure.
awesome. Anything else you'd like to add before we close out?
Just thank you to everyone that have been showing their love and support this whole journey. Stay safe and be
Definitely.
strong and be healthy, and just hope for the best. We're all gonna get through this. Yeah, and stay tuned for the music because it's coming.
All right, well, I'll be ready for it then. I'll bump it with my kids in the car, you know.
Hey,
You better enjoy that sippy cup, and there's some Baddcheeta to go with it.
exactly.
All right, Charity. Thanks again for your time today. You take care.
Thank you so much, Nathan, for having me.